Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar today, How to Master Client Events with your MAPS coach, Rachel Adams Lee. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube channel, and you will also receive this recording link today after the webinar. You can share this recording link with anyone in your market center that you think may find that information valuable. Also, if you have any questions, please type those into the questions box in your taskbar, and Rachel will answer those throughout the webinar and mostly near the end of the webinar. And then following the webinar, if you have any questions, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That's FASTTRACK@kw.com. We are going to get started. Let me make sure. Rachel, are you on the call? Are you on the webinar? Can you hear me? Just 1 second as we get her up and going. Thank you for your patience. It's just taking us a second to get things up and running. There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yay. Hi, everybody. Okay. Do I get to go? Am I on?
Go ahead.
All right. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get to hang out with you. Paige, I'm going to turn on my camera. Can you tell me if you guys can see me if I turn on my camera? Let's see, so y'all can see my face. You see me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you can see my screen and you can see my face.
That's right.
Okay, cool. All right, you guys. Hello. I just got back from San Francisco. So I'm in my warm weather gear, but I'm actually coming to you live from California. My name is Rachel Adams Lee, and I am a MAPS coach. I'm a group MAPS coach. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to share a little bit with you guys about who I am, what I do, and then we're actually going to be talking about planning a client event, kind of the do's, the don'ts, the whats. And then I can answer any questions that you guys have. And I love participation. So if I'm talking and you guys have a question, I just want you guys to pop the question in the little question chat room. Let me just open it up so I can see it. Okay, cool. So you guys can hear me. I see Rachel, Johnny, Frank. Hi, guys. That is exciting. So if you guys have questions, like I said, just shoot it in there and then I'll make sure that I address all your questions for you. And let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So my name is Rachel Adams Lee. I have been in real estate now about 5.5 years. I got into real estate in February of 2012. So for those of you who don't know my story, I'll give you a little summary. But I was working a full-time job at a real estate office. I was unlicensed and gosh, I was seeing like paycheck after paycheck come through, and they were so much more than I was making. And, truth be told, at that point in my life, I was in a pretty unhealthy marriage. And, I know I didn't like where I was at in my life, but I also didn't know how to change it. If you've ever felt that way, you're just kind of stuck. And heard about, so I decided I was getting my real estate license and just like do a deal here and there, you know? And I heard about Keller Williams, didn't know much about it, but I was told about this class called Bold. And they told me that it was kind of like a Tony Robbins, like rah rah course. And I was like, I don't know about that. And, but I also knew something needed to change in my life. So I called in sick to work and I went to the first step of Bold. And, I fell in love with Diana Kokoska and her message and her teachings. And Cody Gibson was the Bold coach that day. And he's standing on a stage, you guys, and he says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. So I'm in the scarcity mindset of I can't quit my job. It's safe. I know how much money's coming in. I also knew that I wasn't happy and I wanted so much more out of life. And so how do I do that, Well, I ended up sitting in this chair and everyone leaves. And I'm thinking like, I need to take Bold. I need to quit my job. And what do I do? And a home inspector comes up to me and his name is Russ Collio. He's actually now a Bold coach. And he said, Rachel, I sit in that office and I watch you at the front desk every day. And I'm going to sponsor you through Bold. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And he says, I'm going to sponsor you through Bold because I believe in you. And you're going to learn when you work for Keller Williams that it's also a win-win culture. And what that means is that I hope you know where to send your home inspections. So Russ paid for me to go to my first step of Bold, my first time of Bold. And I paid back $200 out of every closed transaction. People always say like, oh, I'm paycheck to paycheck. I'm like, hi, I'm paycheck behind a paycheck and borrowing money from everybody I know. And so my first year in real estate, I started Keller Williams February 2nd of 2012. I took Bold 2 times my first year and closed $9 million in sales. So it was I closed 39 transactions my first year. The next year was 109 transactions for 19 million. And that was 2 more times the Bold. So it was 2 times Bold, 2 times Bold. And then my third year, we went to 123 and took Bold 2 more times. And that's when I landed in Wall Street Journal's top 1,000 agent in the country. So it was kind of crazy being a brand new agent, not doing any real estate, not knowing how to do it. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, you're a top agent in the country in 3 years. And it's been a really wild ride for me. I am a completely different person now than I was when I first started in real estate. Like, I mean, those of you who knew me, I know some of these names and faces on this webinar. So some of you know me really well. But it went from me learning personal and professional boundaries and meeting the love of my life, Ryan. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you guys all know Ryan, and we will both be at family reunion. We've got a bunch of panels coming up. So we'll be at family reunion this end of this week, which is so exciting. It's coming up. I was able to publish my own book. So I'm an author, and it really was about learning how to be authentic and transparent and just my kind of struggle to figure out who I wanted to be. And now I help others get to do the same. And then I launched my MAPS coaching course with MAPS, and it's called Limited to Legendary. So it's from Limited to Legendary or Fast Track to becoming a top 1,000 agent. It's a 10-week webinar series with a half-hour live Q&A every Monday. We launch next February 26th. It's kind of like everything I wish I knew when I started this business that I didn't know. So it's the buying process, the selling process, how to brand yourself and marketing, how to build a business with social media. I sold 64 houses last year alone from Facebook. So Facebook is my jam. Those of you who follow me know that. And I like to teach you guys how to do the same thing. And today what we're going to be talking about is how to plan the perfect client event, because I think that, that's not really discussed that much. And it is a massive, massive leg of my business. So I wanted to help it become a leg of your business. And that's just one of the things we get to go over when I'm your coach. And I am newly married. So it says I'm married to the most attractive man in America, Ryan, and he's amazing. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy, and it's pretty exciting. Okay, let's go. Whoops, next slide. Okay, so this is a picture of my real estate team. I want to see if I can get these questions. Okay, cool. You guys are here. Okay, so no one said anything yet. Okay, great. So this is a picture of my real estate team. Obviously, teams flow a little bit, but the one thing I want you to notice at the bottom here is we live here, we work here, we're here for you. We live here, we work here, we're here for you. Because we live in the community, we work in the community, and well, we're here for the community. So, you know, a lot of times people don't understand how important their brand is. And when we talk about client events, we're not only going to talk about actual client events and how to plan them, but we're going to talk about all the prep work around it. And one of the things that's extremely important is that you make sure that you guys have you make sure that you have your marketing and branding down. Now I'm going to type in on our answer sheet right here. See, I'm going to type in for you guys. People ask me all the time how I rebrand my team and what does that look like, because a lot of you know that I used to be branded a different team name. logomyway.com. logomyway.com. It is about $200 to create a logo. You have people competing from all over the world helping you build your brand. They'll tell you to spend like $600 and do the bigger package. I'm telling you, $200 is fine. You can talk about like who you are, your kind of the audience you have, if you have colors you like, and they help brand your business. And when you're going to be doing client events, and if you want to have social media be a leg of your business, you've got to make sure your branding is very, very consistent. And we'll talk a little more about that. If you guys have any questions, like I said, just type them into the chat box and then I can help you guys. Okay, so now this right here is a visual of our team org chart. People always ask me kind of how things work and what my team structure is. So I wanted to share it with you guys right here. It's really broken down into 3 parts. We have lead gen and marketing, and any of you that are in real estate, either you're on a team or you have the team. Your lead gen and marketing, I want you to think of that as like the rainmaker, right? And why do you call it a rainmaker? Well, it's the person who makes it rain down leads, right? So you have your rainmaker there. If you have an ISA, that's where they're going to go as well. Video and marketing. So lead gen and marketing is your department of where, like your lead funnel, right? Where the leads come in from. Next, you're going to have your admin side. This can be so Christina is my director of operations. Then we have a transaction coordinator. We have an admin assistant, Amanda, who helps with really like making sure lock boxes are installed and open houses are scheduled and inspections and just making sure that runs really smoothly. And if anybody has questions on like admin, like splits for a team or admin or any of that, I'm really open. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and pop it in and I'll share with you. Then we have Vanjie. She's my virtual assistant. She's in the Philippines. She's been with me since like early on in my career. And she's phenomenal. She handles kind of all the back end stuff that isn't needed really by you know, on the phone. And then Sonia's our marketing and branding specialist. And all of you who have taken Limited to Legendary, my coaching course, you guys all know that you get access to Sonia because she's our marketing gal. Then you have the sales team. Now, sales team is separated into selling and buying agent. So I am still in production. I'm the lead listing agent on our team. And so I handle all the listings. We have a system on our team called I do, we do, you do. So first I do. They come on the listing presentation with me. They listen to me. Then it's we do. I start to say a little less. They start to say a little more. And then eventually, if they want to go on listings on their own, they get a you do. They get the green light, but they have to come present to my own personal residence, to me and Ryan. And we grade them and give them a green light. The split doesn't change if they're going on listings on their own, by the way. It's still the same split with us. And then we have an expansion location in Brentwood. So for those of you who just asked, I'm in Northern California. My house where I'm at right now is El Dorado Hills. We just bought this house. It was a foreclosure and we rehabbed it and it's beautiful and we love it. I'll be posting pictures probably next week on Facebook of our new rehabbed house. Very exciting. But my market is Roseville. So that's where my office is in Northern California. Okay. Now, you've heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Real estate is a relationship-based business. And by the way, we just happen to be in the business of buying and selling houses. You know, a lot of times people get so hung up on how many houses they're going to sell or how much money they're going to make that they forget the fact that this is a relationship-based business. And our job is to build relationships. Our job is to build connections. And you know, people, well, they're going to work with people they like, and they'll like you if you're always offering value and contributing to them. And, you know, when I started in real estate, I very, very much was about door knocking and open houses. And those of you who know, I mean, I door knocked 200 doors a week and I did 3 open houses a week for that first year in real estate. Those 8 months, I mean, you guys, People said you earn your blisters. I earned my blisters on the back of my heels. But I was able to sell 39 houses. And, in the beginning, I wasn't exactly sure what my real estate would look like or how I would build the brand. And what I realized is that I didn't want to knock on a door and have somebody be like, oh, Rachel, what do you want? Like, again, you're here. I wanted them to be excited. I wanted them to want to connect with me. And, the thing about it is when we do our business, a lot of times we are sending emails, right? You're not always text messaging or calling them. We send emails to people. And what I found is that, and if you guys are like this, I want you to say yes in the comments if this is you as well. When you wake up in the morning and you look at your phone and you have your cell phone, do you look at it and the first thing you do is you look through your emails and see what you can delete? Right? You're filtering. Give me yeses if that's who you are. So you're filtering through, right? And you're filtering, you're saying, okay, who can I delete? I literally look at the sender and the subject line and I will delete it before I even read it. And this is the thing. Most of us, we're deletable. Real estate agents tend to be deletable because it's, hey, do you want to buy or sell your house? Here's the top 5 reasons to sell now. And that gets old really quickly. And so what I realized is that when I wanted to build my business and I wanted to be highly referral based, I needed to make my brand to where people would get excited to see my emails and excited to see what I was talking about. So that's what I did. Are you guys still with me? Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your branding when you're going to be doing a event for your clients. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is what I call seamless branding. So let's make sure that we're still good. I'm not seeing any of the chats coming through, so I want to make sure. Okay. I just wrote to you guys. I want you guys to respond to me if you can see that. Oops. And I spelled you wrong. Okay. So seamless branding. Now, those of you who've taken Bold, you will know all about this already, but I want to ask you, your RAS, your reticular activating system. Now, why would I bring that up to you guys right now? Why would that be important? Well, it's important because people work with people they like. And sometimes they don't know who you are, or they might not know how consistent you are and how good you are in what you do. So I want you to think of your real estate business with your RAS in mind. Now, I'm going to give you an example, and I always use the same example, but I'm going to use the example of a Ford Focus. So say I want to go buy a Ford Focus. So I go to the dealership, I test drive the car, but I'm not totally sure. I'm not sure I want to purchase it. So instead what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to test drive the car. I like it, but I'm going to think about it because you never go the first time, right? You never buy the first time. So I get back in my car, I'm driving home, and all of a sudden I look up to my right, and what do I see? My gosh, I see a billboard for a Ford Focus. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. I just test drove that. And then I keep driving, and all of a sudden I see a Ford Focus to my left and a Ford Focus to my right. And then I get a text message from Ryan. He's like, babe, you forgot to buy milk. So I get to the grocery store, and what's parked right next to me? A Ford Focus. But this is the thing, you guys, that Ford Focus, it's always been there. It's always been there. But now my RAS is activated to that Ford Focus. And so what I want you to think of is your real estate business like that Ford Focus. When someone sees your brand, do they know who you are? Have they seen you before? Now, your client events, when we're going to get into it, they're going to be branded. Your marketing is going to be branded for the client events. Your takeaway gift is going to be branded. The video that you use to promote your event is going to be branded. I mean, I'm telling you, it's really, really powerful. If you do this the right way, people are going to know who you are. And if people work with people they like and they like you, they're going to come to you when they need to buy or sell a house. Now, your brand, it doesn't just have to be one thing. So when you think about client events, I think for a lot of people, it's kind of intimidating, and they think client events are going to cost me so much money. Client events are going to break the bank account, and I'm not even going to get referrals from these. Like, I understand there are some limiting beliefs around client events. Why? Because I had those limiting beliefs. I wasn't sure if it would work. I wasn't sure like what the commitment would be from clients, right? So what I did is I thought about my brand, and I thought about who I am as a person. Now, when I look at my life, I know that I am married. I know that I have a real estate company. I know that I have an investment company. I know that I have a shampoo company. I know that I'm an ambassador for an anti-sex trafficking nonprofit, right? I'm a public speaker, right? I have so much more to me than just selling houses. You guys, if you're constantly on social media talking about buy a house, sell a house, buy a house, sell a house, they're going to drown you out and your emails are going to become deletable. So I want you to think what you're passionate about, because when you do a client event, like I'm going to show you, mine are not your average, regular happy hour where I'm like, bring 2 people and give me referrals. No, because people aren't going to want to come to that. So I want you to look at your life and I want you to think what brings you joy. I want you to think what excites you. And then you're going to build your client events around that, because people work with people they like and they like you. Oh, so funny. Look at that transition. So people work with people they like and they like you. And you just have to be really clear on who you are. And you have to be really clear on what your message is and what your purpose is, because if you don't know, then how are they going to know? Now, when I'm sitting down with a buyer or a seller, I let them know. I say, you know what? One of the funnest things about working with me and the Rachel Adams Group is that we do a lot of really fun client events. So one of the things you can expect from me is that after we close on this property, you're not going to not hear from me anymore. I mean, I'm sitting in your house right now, talking about selling your home, and there's a reason you're not talking to the agent that sold you the house. And they often say, well, it's because I never even heard from her again. I'm like, that's pretty normal. I just want to let you know that's not going to happen with me. And now I've talked about this in previous videos, but the expectation conversation, you guys, this is so important. This is what you can expect from me, and this is what I expect from you. Now, I go through this conversation a little bit more harshly when I am doing a buyer broker. In California, we call them buyer brokers. Some people call them buyer agreements. And also the listing presentation. The number one reason people get frustrated with their agents is because the expectations weren't properly set. And so they're like texting you at 9:30 at night and they're pissed you don't respond. And it's because you didn't properly set the expectation that you're a professional and you have business hours. So, hey, Paige, I'm not sure. I can't see anybody's responses to anything. So I don't know what's going on with that. But if you can, let me know. The last thing I see is from Frank Williams and it says yes. Okay.
It says they're seeing your messages, lots of yes responses.
Okay.
So no questions right now. I'll let you know.
Oh, that's me. Haha. Just kidding. You guys are great. I just had to scroll down. You guys are killing it. You're doing good. Okay. Okay, we're back on. Okay, so this right here, you guys, this is what we call the life audit wheel. So you know how I told you that we, when we're sitting down with our clients and we're setting the expectation with them, this is one of the things we do when we talk to them about how they're going to hear from us all after the transaction. And it's good. Like, I want you to think of the end of your transaction with your client. It does not mean the relationship's over. This is your onboarding. This is the time where you jump off the board and you get to start them in what it's like to be a client of your team, right? So I always tell them that I want to know what they're about. So what we do with our team is this. It's called the life audit wheel. So we talk about where they live and we have them rate themselves in these different categories, like where they live, their health, their spiritual, their fun, their love and their friendship, their work, their family. We actually get to know them kind of on a deeper level. And the reason for this is I always tell them that my goal is to know what they need before they even know they need it. So if they're giving themselves like a 2 on the health scale, well, then I can introduce them to my favorite gym. If they're giving themselves like a 2 on their work, then I can find out what they're passionate about and maybe send them like an inspirational YouTube video and just let them know I was thinking of them. Like, there is so much that you can do with them. And then for fun, I always say, oh man, well, if you rated this a 3 or a 4, I'm going to take it to a 5 this year with all our really fun client events. So this is a really neat tool that you can use to get to know your clients at a deeper level, because we don't just sit down and talk about buying or selling a house. We talk about their life, because I want them to know that I'm in this for the long haul. So whether they need a CPA, a hairstylist, a new restaurant, like, I'm the person that's going to bring it to them. Now, when I work with my agents on my team, I tell them, I say, I want you to think of your business like the legs of a chair. Now, for each of you guys watching this right now, I want you to think, where do my leads come from? Where do my leads come from? If you took your MLS, if you pulled a report from MLS and you saw where every closed transaction came from, what you would see is some of the things you're doing are working well. Some of the things you're spending money on might not be giving you a return at all. And there's some things that you're doing pretty well that you probably could do a lot better. Now, I tell my agents, because when I got in real estate, I swear I got my business cards and I was like, okay, what do I do now? Right? Because all you need in real estate is business cards, right? So I got my business card. And I said, okay, what do I focus on? And people said, I want you to do open houses. I want you to go door knocking. I want you to work with first sale by owners. I want you to work with expireds, definitely work with investors, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was so overwhelmed. And so with my agents, I say, look, I want you to think your business like the legs of a chair. If there's 4 legs to a chair, what are the 4 legs to your business going to be? Where are you going to get your business from? Now, number 1 for you guys, all non-negotiable, I want you to write down database. So if you write down 1, 2, 3, 4, your database. These are the people who know you, who like you, who would refer deals to you. And then 2, 3, and 4, you usually can get a pretty good indication of what that is from your closed transactions. But I know for me, one of my legs of my business is social media. Hands down, that's going to be one of my legs. Another one for me is my investor relationships, because I work with a lot of investors. And then number 4 for me is going to be client events. We do a lot of client events, and I get a ton of referrals from that. So I want you guys to take a minute, and I want you to type into the chat box for me, and I want you to tell me what the 4 legs of your lead generation chair are right now. So everyone's going to have database, but then I want to see what your sphere is. I want to see where your business is coming from, and then I'm going to take a look at one of these questions. Let's see. Okay, Josh asked if he's going to receive a copy of the slideshow. So you will get a recorded. If you are on this right now, you're going to get a copy of this webinar, so you'll be able to watch it again. I don't give out my presentations, but you definitely can watch this. Okay, perfect. So we've got people filling it in. Awesome. You guys are good. Coworkers, yep, referrals, database, circle prospecting. You guys, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be putting out a video. Actually, you guys can help me decide. I just made 2 videos. I will be giving both of them to you guys, to everybody in social media land. But I just recorded one for sale by owners and one for expireds. So you guys tell me which one you want me to put out first. And based off you, I will put it out tomorrow based off the higher recording. So it's it's scripts, objection handlers. It's how I handle expired listings and how I handle for sale by owners in our plan. So you guys can take a look at that. Woo, got a little excited. Okay, you guys ready to move on? Let's talk about a successful client event, okay? So, it's looking like FSBOs are winning right now. You guys put your vote in. Okay, now when we talk about a client event, some people get a little bit overwhelmed because they're not sure how to do this. So I'm going to go with you through the steps of how you pick a client event. And then I'm going to, after that, go through some client events that I've done, show you evidence of success. We're really going to dig into it, and I think you guys will get a lot of value out of this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to select an event. Now, sometimes you're not sure what your event's going to be. I don't want you to stress out about that right now. And feel free, if you guys are watching this right now, take your cell phone out, take a screenshot of this. If you guys are doing this webinar with me, I would love if you do a little selfie with the webinar behind you and tag me on Facebook. I want to see what you guys are doing. People want to know that you are actively working in real estate. They don't need to have you always say, do you want to buy or sell a house or invest in real estate? You can show them that you're a real estate professional and you do fun stuff just because you're in the know. So number 1, you select an event. So you're going to select an event that speaks to you, which we'll go through a lot of different ideas. Step number 2, you pick your vendor partners. Okay, this is really, really important because I don't want you guys spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this, okay? I really don't. People don't understand how much money they need to spend. And so sometimes, my first one I spent like $2,000 on, and I didn't even ask anybody for business. Like, it was a total waste of my time. It was a waste of my money, rather, not so much my time. It was a good learning lesson. I always say that failure is a really awesome opportunity to learn. So it was a very expensive learning lesson for me. So when you pick your vendor partners, I pick usually a lender and an insurance rep. I want you to think, you guys, home inspector, termite inspector, roof inspector, pool inspection, home warranty. We can't do title here because of RESPA, so they usually can't give anything financially, but lenders. There are so many people that you guys give a lot of business to, and when you're doing a client event, it's a phenomenal opportunity to partner with them, and the conversation usually goes something like, So if I'm speaking to my lender, I'm going to say, hey, Evangeline, I just wanted to reach out to you because, obviously you are one of my preferred lenders and I love our professional relationship. And I'm actually going to be doing something this year to grow my business. I'm really excited that I've committed to doing 2 client events this year. And you know what? I could not imagine doing this event without you because you've been there to, meet my clients, help them successfully get into homes. And I would love to be able to sponsor this with you and have you participate in the event with me because, I know you, I like you, I trust you, and I'd love to build business with you. No one's going to say no to you, you guys. This is the thing. You're coming to them because you know them, you like them, you trust them, and you want to build their business just as much as you want to build yours. And, I like to always do a lender because they can help split the cost with you. And then if somebody has a question there about purchasing a home, well, convenient, your lender's right there. So you pick your vendor partners. I would encourage you not to have more than 2 or 3 and absolutely only 1 per industry. So don't have 2 lenders at the same event. It can get yucky. Then you're going to create your marketing piece. Now, those of you who hang out with me, you guys know that I love Canva, Canva.com, Canva, Canva.com. I'm going to write that for you guys, Canva.com. I'm going to send this to everybody. And then I'm also going to, okay, so Canva.com, I just sent that out. That is the website that I use for absolutely everything when I do a client event. And you're going to create a marketing piece. Now, that marketing piece can be used for several things. It can be used for Facebook for your invite. So the next step then is you make a Facebook event because you're going to invite these people several ways. Some people like text messages. Some people like, if you invite me to something on Facebook, it's very unlikely that I'm going to see it because I get hundreds of messages a day, private messages a day. Like my world gets a little bananas on Facebook. So I'm the person who you would not want to send a client event to. I'm the person you'd want to send a text message to. So create your marketing piece. Make a Facebook event. You're going to then dial in your scripts. I will give you guys some examples of scripts when I get to my examples of the events that I've done, but it's really important that you have your script dialed in for what you're going to email to them, what you're going to text message to them, and then also what your Facebook will say. And all of mine, you'll notice, they echo each other. And feel free, if you guys haven't already followed me on Facebook, find me on social media, Rachel Adams Lee. And I'll give you guys the information at the end of this for how you can find me. But you guys can add me on Facebook, and then you can just go through my Facebook, watch my Christmas video we did. I mean, just watch the different stuff that I've done. And I'm a huge fan of R&D. What does R&D stand for? Rip off and duplicate. Okay, so the next thing is I want you to say, okay, call your database. So you're going to call your database. You're going to have your scripts dialed in. You're going to call your database and physically invite them to come. Then you're going to text your database and invite them. So I do not use a text app. I use my actual cell phone, and I use the picture that I created on Canva and the script that I did. It's usually just a little paragraph, and I just text it to all my database. So I'll go into Boomtown, which is the CRM that I use. And if anybody has questions on Boomtown, reach out to me privately on Facebook and I can connect you. But I use Boomtown for my database. And then I export my database and I print it next to me. And then I literally just text message, cross it off, text message, cross it off. And then I also make a Facebook post on my personal page as well as our business page to invite everybody. And then we also email it. So we are all over it, you guys. If you're in our sphere, if you're in our database, there is no way you're not going to know that we're having a phenomenal event. And this is the thing. People are excited to get our emails because our events are really fun. They're high energy. People want to go to them because they're different, okay? So Josh just said, how do I set up my team structure with the other agents on my team? Splits? Do I have a buyer's agent? Okay, cool. So Josh, I'm going to, after I'm done with the event, I will definitely address your question at the end of this, okay? All right, so this is what we did when we tried to figure out how we wanted to map out our client events for 2018. We took the eEdge 33 Touch, and the thing I love about our eEdge is that it's completely editable. And so we took our 33 Touch and we went through it and we said, what are 33 ways throughout the year that we can love on our database, we can connect with our database, we can pour back into our database, and then we can have fun things that they want to do and they want to see and they'll be around for, right? So one of the first things we did is, these are just some examples of things that we've done. So not everything has to be a client event. It can also just be ways that you contribute to your database. So when we had New Year's coming up, we looked at all the local, the locations of things coming up for New Year's, and we sent it out to people. So we got to add value to them. You know, people work with people they like and they like you, but what value are you adding to them, right? So this one right here, this is an example of something we did. We would take this, we would text messages out, and we would say, you know, if you don't have New Year's plans, we wanted to make sure that we could provide them, you know, provide value and help you figure out what you were going to do for New Year's. So that's a really fun idea. Baseball and football schedules. You guys know that I'm not a sports fan. Sorry for those of you who are, but a lot of my clients are. So this is a text message, and this is also a post and an email. So 3 ways usually we'll communicate with people. Easter bunny and mimosas. Okay, so those of you who know me know that I am called in my local town the mimosa realtor. So let me explain it to you. My very, very first client event that I did was a happy hour at a restaurant. I emailed all of my clients, and I paid over $2,000 for the space and a certain amount of cocktails and a certain amount of food to be drank and eaten. I had 6 people show up for $2,000, and it was not fun. And I was really frustrated, you guys. I don't know if anybody, have you guys done, like, let me know. Have you guys done a client event before? Have you done any event where you're like, oh my gosh, that was a total disaster. What the heck am I doing? So when I went back to my joy and I thought, okay, how do I actually want to build my business? If people work with people they like what am I actually passionate about? And, you know, one of the things that happened is my girlfriend, Mackenzie, she has this local moms group in Elk Grove. And I'm one of the last ones of my friends without kids. And I thought, gosh, I want to do a event. I want to hang out with her, but I'm supposed to lead generate, right? Like Gary Keller says that you need to lead generate 2 hours every day. That's what every mega agent does. Well, I wanted to lead generate, but I also want to hang out with my friends. So I called Mackenzie and I said, hey, Mackenzie, would you mind if I host an event for your mom group? And she was like, Rachel, I do not want to do a buyer seminar. I'm like, no. It's called Mommies and Mimosas and Kids and Crafts. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, Mommies and Mimosas and Kids and Crafts. I was like, I feel like you need a break. So I'm going to provide a mimosa bar for the moms. I will get a couple babysitters for the kids, and I'm going to host an event. And so she was like, yeah. She's like, how much does it cost? I'm like, completely free to you. So I called my friend Evangeline, who is my lender, and I said, hey, I'm doing this really fun event called Mommies and Mimosas and Kids and Crafts. You know, obviously you and I really enjoy working together professionally, and I also like you personally, and you have kids. And, you know, I was wondering if you would be open to partnering with me on this event because we can grow our businesses together. And she was like, all day long, sister. So because I'm not a mom, I wasn't allowed in the mom group, but I created an ad on Canva, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And I sent it to Mackenzie. She put it in her mom group. There's like 200 or something members in the mom group, and they're fairly, you know, how in like a Facebook group, the same people are always like really active. So that was the case. So she posted it in the mom group, and then we held the event. So my decor was very simple. I went to the dollar store and I got a bunch of cute little games for kids. I had noodle necklaces and Play-Doh and stickers, stuff that wasn't like super messy, right? I hired 2 of my girlfriend's older kids to watch the kids in one room. I had a mimosa bar set up for the moms, and then a juice for the kids. So I took big pictures and made mimosas, and it said mommy juice and kid juice. It was really cute. You guys can look that up on Facebook too, because I have a lot of it. And also go to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already followed me. So go to YouTube/Rachel Adams Lee, because I have a 33 touch campaign that I've converted that you guys can get value out of. I just did an entire webinar on social media. So there's a lot of awesome tools and tips that you guys can get just by being part of our MAPS family, which is really cool. So, all right, so we did the we did the event. It lasted for 3 hours. Of the 200 women, I had 38 come. And the whole event, you guys, it was about them. It was the kids playing, the moms having mimosas, everyone's hanging out. I did not talk about real estate at all. No real estate conversation. People work with people they like, right? So I'm just getting to know these moms. I'm hanging out with them. At the time, I was just dating Ryan, and these moms were like fascinated by online dating. So they're like, wait, tell me more. Wait, what happened? So it was really fun. And I was just connecting. And no one's leaving early because it's free mimosas, right? So I stood up at the last few minutes of the event, and I had just a 1-page like flyer about me and my team, but it was branded to the Mommy and Mimosa event. And I just said, hey ladies, thank you so much for coming to Mommies and Mimosas, Kids and Crafts. And they're like cheering, and a couple mimosas in them, and they're pretty happy. And I just said, I'm not sure if you know who I am, but my name is Rachel, and I'm your local real estate expert. The reason I wanted to do today is because Mackenzie's one of my really good girlfriends, and I'm the last one of my friends without kids. And I thought, gosh, it's not like you guys need to come to me. I need to come to you, and you ladies need a break. And they cheer again, right? And I said, I wanted to make sure that I could just add value to your life and give you an afternoon off or a morning off, right? I do mine 10 to 1 for the Mommy and Mimosa events. And I said, by the way, if you are looking at selling your house, there are more buyers on the market than there are sellers. So we can net you top dollar for your home. And if you're curious how much your house is worth, I'd love to tell you that value. Secondly, if you're looking to buy a house, well, interest rates are still really low, and I can get you a phenomenal deal on a house. And lastly, if you're renting a home right now, you might be able to own your own for less than you're paying someone else's mortgage. No pressure, ladies, but if you want to come chat with me, I'll be around. That's it. Like, how long did that take me? Like 3 minutes? You guys, I did this event for 3 hours. We made $2.5 million in production. It cost me $439, and I got 38 people to add to my database. And you can bet that these moms come to every single event that I throw. So what happened next? Easter Bunny mimosas. And this little part in bold, this black part right under the title, it says, if you're going to get your pictures taken with Easter Bunny, we highly encourage you to do so with a mimosa in hand. That's my text message that I'm sending to someone. And the visual is this little picture right here that we created on Canva. That's it. And then you see it's co-branded with Evangeline so that we can split everything 50-50 for RESPA. You guys, where you are, will you guys write in the chat box? Tell me what state you guys are in. I'm curious where everybody's in right now. We have 113 of you watching this. I'm just curious how many of you, what state you guys are in. Because RESPA in California, the lenders can only pay 50-50 with us. Is it the same where you guys are, or is it different? I'm curious. Another thing to add value, text it out. Email this out, put it on Facebook, where to see the fireworks for the 4th of July. This is also something that we do when we're door knocking. We have a 12 touch value campaign. So it's 12 ways that we add value throughout the year. It's door knocking flyer, open houses, right? And then the other side is something to add value. So when we're knocking on a door, we always have options. We always want to make sure we're contributing back to our database and loving on them, because people work with people they like, right? Christmas tree lightings, this one's awesome. Again, text message, Facebook post, and email it out. Canned food drive, this one is awesome. We do a canned food drive, and now I wanted to share with you after this. So we do a canned food drive let me see what time we're on time. Okay, we have 15 more minutes. So we do a canned food drive where we feature each agent in our team. So every piece, like you'll see on these on the right-hand side, I'm branded here. The only thing with my team, I brand our logo and our slogan, we live here, we work here, we're here for you, but every agent's branded, because my feeling is I want longevity on my team, and I want them to feel like they have some ownership in this business and that it's branded to them. So when they're getting a text message piece to send out, or this, they printed and we actually stapled these to brown grocery bags, and we door knocked our neighborhoods for our canned food drive. Each agent in their own individual farm. But it's branded to them. And again, this is just one of the things we cover when I'm your coach in Limited to Legendary. No pressure, but sign up. It's really, really fun. Now, just as important as doing the event, evidence of success. So what you're going to see right here is this is the evidence of success from our last canned food drive. So our goal was to help 25 families provide a warm meal for Thanksgiving dinner, right? So the picture on the left is us stapling all of the flyers to our brown grocery bags. And this counts as a client event, you guys. Client events do not always have to be you spending a ton of money and having them come to your office. So I want to strike that from the record. A lot of times people say they can't do a client event because it costs too much money. This cost our time and our effort and our energy, but it did not cost us money, okay? So we have our flyers. We've stapled them to brown grocery bags. Each of the agents went in their own individual farm where they focus on. And then after that, we so our purpose of donating food for this is that I'm an ambassador for an anti-sex trafficking nonprofit here locally. And so there are women who are being rehabilitated from getting off the streets and they have kids. So we provided meals to them. So that blue heart that you see, it's called Blue Heart International. Our goal was to feed 25 families and we fed over 60 families, you guys. It felt so good to do that. And that U-Haul truck was them coming to my real estate office to pick up all the food. That is a client event. And then you know what we do? We send this out to our database through email, and we also post it on Facebook. I don't text message out evidence of success. But just as important it is to ask them to come to your event or to donate to your event, it's also important to show them how much fun it was, because you're that fun real estate agent that they want to work with. People work with people they like, you guys. This is the Mommy Mimosa Kids and Craft flyer that I created. I now do a lot of work with Realtor.com, and so we trademarked our logo for this because it's kind of going everywhere. But this was a really big one we did. So we do these individual ones with local mom groups. So it's about like finding that one group that already has the sphere, and you just get to come in and provide the fun and be the real estate expert. And again, don't always make it all about real estate. I do buyer seminars, but it's usually a warm business to business referral that I have, which I can do another webinar on that at another time. I'm really passionate on business to business relationships. I like to have the one person with the sphere so that my words and my conversation goes really far to everybody. We do talk about that in the coaching program as well. But this one we did not make it specific to one group. We made this specific to the county. So we had a bounce house, we had face painting, we had family photos, a petting zoo, moms for mimosas, mimosas for moms, juice for kids, snacks, and shopping. If you guys want to see an example of this event, you can go on the YouTube channel and look this up. This is a big client event, but you know what, you guys? It probably cost me like $1,500 total, and we had 210 people show up. And unfortunately, this one was outside and the weather decided to be like 111 degrees that day. It was so hot. It was crazy. And we had 210 people show up. And so that's 210 people I can add to my database. It's not that like, boom, I come to your event and I'm going to sell my house with you. It's consistency. It is consistency. We're constantly doing things to give back to our community, to connect with our community. And it's just, it's really exciting. This is evidence of success from our Mommy Mimosa event. And it was picked up by a group called Mommy's Hiring Mommies, which is a local moms group in West Sacramento. And Fox 40 News heard about it. And this was the coolest thing. They heard about that I do a Mommy and Mimosa event. And when they came and they shot the interview with me, they said, how cool is this? This real estate agent makes her career build by giving back to other people. By giving back. And that's my thing. Every year I pick a theme. I pick a theme of my year. And this year it's growth and grace, granting myself a little bit of grace. Ryan and I are hopefully going to try and have a baby this year. And, that's going to come with a whole new world of challenges that I don't know yet. So granting myself some grace in the unknown, right? And growth in the business, growth in my company, growth in our coaching company with you guys, and with MAPS. But last year it was about giving. I think so often we make our business like, how many houses can I sell? What can I do? Money. And I say, no. Take a deep breath. Think about what you can give. Think about what you guys can give to your community, how you can contribute back to your community. And if people work with people they like, they're going to like you and they're going to want to give business to you. And you never know what it's going to do. Like, did I think the Mommy Mimosa event would get me on the news? No, I was trying to find a way that I could lead generate that's fun. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I do not want to pick up a phone and call an expired listing. I just don't. And it doesn't mean that's wrong. It just means that my business might look a little bit different than someone else's. So I choose to make my lead generation fun, and I want it to be about things that are really going to inspire me. This one we just did, it was so much fun, Santa Mimosas. It was the most successful event we've had by far. And again, we have Santa dressed up. We used to hire a photographer. One of you just asked me about a photographer. We used to hire a photographer to come to these events, but it takes so long to get the photos back and getting them to the right people. Like, it's kind of crazy. So now what we do is we just have this set up for them, and we let people take pictures with their cell phone, and we just ask them to tag us. And so with this one, and go ahead and look this up, you guys, on my Facebook page, because this was really easy, because you'll see my evidence of success. So what you'll see here is we have, this is a picture of our team, right? Everyone that came. We had pictures with Santa. We had cookies and everything. And then we also had a little area where they had cotton balls that it was just a picture of Santa and glue, and they could glue the beard on Santa. So it was like a really, really low key, very low cost event. And it was super, super fun. Okay, so now we are kind of getting out of the client event section. Let me see how we are on time. Okay, it's 2:21 right now, and I think we only have till 2:30. So I wanted to address the question that happened. Let's see. I had Josh had a question that I wanted to make sure I answered. Let me find it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. You guys, so Paige, I'm going to answer Josh's question, and then the rest of this is just like open coaching stuff. If we have time, I can get into it, but do I need to let him go by 2:30? My time, 2:30, sorry.
Let me double check, and I will let you know in just 1 second.
Cool. Okay, Josh. So Josh's question is, how do I structure my team with the other agents on my team? What are the splits? Do I just have buyer's agents? Are there other listing agents? Okay, so this is the deal, my friends. 50-50 if I hand them a deal. 50-50 for all my buyer's agents. 60-40 if they bring it in. Okay, 60-40 if they bring in the deal. 50-50 if I bring in the deal. Across the board, that's what it is. Every agent on my team is also able to take listings, because listings are the power plays, right? But it is always my panel. They get a writer with their picture on it below them, because most of the time they just want to have their picture on a sign, right? That's what I've learned in this business. And I'm thinking long-term, big picture, what would keep me on a team? So I make sure that they are able to take listings as well as work with buyers. And again, they don't get to do it unless I give them the green light to do it, because I have an 86% success rate with listings, which might sound low to you guys, but trust me, it's very high. And then I have a 92% acceptance rate for buyers offers. So I have everything super dialed in, super systematized. They have the admin support. People join a team for 3 reasons. They join a team so they have leads. They have some leads to fund their life, right? Leadership, they're shown how to run their business like a business instead of it running them. And then admin, the admin support. So when I look at my team, I make sure all those things are dialed. And we have a very low turnover rate on our team. I can't say it's the same. It was not that way in the beginning. It definitely was a lot higher. But now it's definitely a lot better. Okay, so Johnny says, what are my thoughts on branding my team with a team name, with my name versus a team name? So Johnny, that's a great question. Gary actually encouraged the agents in his mastermind, his top group, to brand their team with their name. Because why? People work with people they like. And what I found is that we brand, instead of being like the green team or the dream team, we're the Rachel Adams group, because most of the people know me. And then my team, in our scripts, we talk about the Rachel Adams group with Keller Williams Realty. I'm a top 1,000 agent in the country, and Keller Williams is the top real estate company in the world, right? Or in the US, right? So we get to say that we're a top team, and we have a top agent on the team. And so we use a lot of leverage with the market center and with the people we're surrounding ourselves with. So I would really encourage you to do a team name, but I like group. Like, I could be the Adams group, or like you could be the Smith group or the Gilmore group, right? You could be the Gilmore team or Gilmore and Associates, but I think group sounds really classy. So that's just tends to be my preference. Yvette says, do I send out press releases about my events? So Yvette, I would do it if it's free. I would not do it if I have to pay for it. And I happen to have friends at news stations. So yes, absolutely. Rachel, great question. She says, how do I collect information at my events? So Rachel, we do our events. We have on Facebook, they can join our events. We also sometimes will do Eventbrite, so we have their email list. But when they get to our event, we always have everybody check in and register. And we usually have some kind of a drawing and some tickets so that we can do a raffle prize, and we get their information through that. And then when we have that evidence of success, we send that out and thank them for coming. And then we always have a call to action. Our evidence of success is we're so honored to be your real estate team of choice. We just wanted to thank you so much for coming to Santa and Mimosas. You know, if you didn't get to see a picture of your family yet, you know, we posted all of ours online. Please send us a picture of you and your kiddo so we can add it to, our portfolio or whatever. And so just engaging with them and say, by the way, if you have anyone who's looking to buy or sell, you know, we'd be honored to help. And so then that's your touch with them. So you're following up with them, thanking them for coming and showing them some fun pictures, engaging with them always. Okay. Oh, somebody just asked the exact same thing. You're welcome. Josh said, thank you. Let's see. Is it possible to have individual branding if you're not on a team? Tell me a little bit more about that. So if you're not on a team, then Gordon, you could be the Dean team. You could be the Dean group. This is the thing. You want to think big picture. You want to think outside the box. What do you want your future to look like? Are you always going to be an individual agent? Because right now, Gordon, you actually have a team. You have a title company. You have a lender. You have a home inspector. So you have a whole team around you, and you are the CEO of that team. So welcome to the Dean group, right? So you can have in the coaching section, we actually do this thing where we have in my listing presentation and my buyer presentation, I say, now let me introduce you to your team, especially because I'm often in like a multiple interview situation for listings. I say, let me introduce you to your team when you list with us. I'm never like, if you list with us. When you list with us, let me introduce you to your team. And it's like kind of one of my closes too, because they get to see who their transaction coordinator is going to be. They get to see who their home inspector is going to be, right? I'm excited to introduce them. Let's just see. So Norma said, can she R&D on my Mimosa event? Go for it, girl, and tag me in it. I love when people take advantage of what I'm teaching because this stuff is good and this stuff is proven and it works, you guys. On our team, we do so many fun client events, and follow along. If I'm doing something that you want to do it, tag me in it and let me know that it worked out well. I want to celebrate your success. Anybody who coaches who doesn't want you to be doing well shouldn't be a coach, right? And here at MAPS, we are all about making sure that we build your business so that you can lead the life that you want, you know? Okay, so, oops, sorry. Let's see. So Tina just said she has a lot of friends on Facebook that have not yet listed or sold with her. Does she invite them all or limit it to clients? Oh my gosh, invite everybody. This is the thing. So what I want you to do, Tina, I want you to go on YouTube and I want you to watch my my social media video that I made, because I have a way that you can reach out specifically to your friends who have not bought or sold with you, that you want to have work with you, that doesn't make it about buying or selling a house. It just makes it about connecting with them and pouring into their life. And then when they want to buy or sell a house, they can connect with you. Okay, if you guys want to connect with me on any of my social media platforms, I've got Instagram on the left, Facebook on the bottom, and my YouTube page on the right. I would love to connect with you guys. And then let's see. I'm going to skip some of this coaching because we don't have time. However, I would love to be your guys' coach. So this webinar was completely free and provided to you guys by MAPS Coaching, and I am honored to be a MAPS coach. So my coaching series is called From Limited to Legendary, your fast track to becoming a top 1,000 agent. So this is actually a 10-week webinar series with a half-hour live Q&A. So what that means is that every Monday for 10 weeks, you get a video sent to you through email. That video is live for 8 days. So we give you 8 days to watch the video. There's also a workbook that you get to print and download that works with this at the same time. And then in my private Facebook group, it's a private Facebook mastermind group. And this is the cool thing. Once you're in it for life. So it's we have alumni members who've already taken it, and as their business grows, they get to continue coaching with me. So for those 10 weeks, they pop into the Facebook page, they get to chat with me, they get to connect with me. If something's going on in their business or they have an objection that they can't overcome, they literally can go into that group and connect with me one-on-one. So this is different than your average coaching series because you're not on a phone call. This is state of the art. This is really well, it was filmed professionally, and it's really, really fun. This is like one of the joys of my life, is to get to be a coach. And so I would be honored to get to be your guys' coach if you're open to coaching this year. We launched February 26th. The website's at the bottom here. It's limitedtolegendary.com. It's $349 for a 10-week series. It's extremely affordable. The reason that I did it that way is because when I was starting in real estate, I would have probably had to borrow this. So whether you're brand new in real estate, whether you're super seasoned, we're going to talk about marketing. We're going to actually brand your business from the ground up. You can ask the opinion of the other agents in this mastermind group. We're going to build an entire social media model around your business 1 week. We talk about how to hire, who to hire, when are you ready to hire, and what are the scripts to do so. There's a whole week on admin, so system structure, the stuff I'm not good at, but my admin team is. We talk about how to get referrals from other agents. What does that conversation look like? 10x the buying process. I told you we have a 92% acceptance rate. We're going to show you all our systems. It's everything I wish I knew when I started, and it's so, so fun. And I would love to get to hang out with you guys. So website's on the bottom. It is such a blast. And I think that it would be really fun to get to do this with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and I'll let you guys scoot. Oh, awesome. And the link to register is at the bottom, so you guys can click on that right now, the registrant link. Someone says, I mentioned I physically text my clients to send the invites. Do I do that for everything I text out? Yeah, I don't, Jessica, I don't ever text out with a third-party app because I just find that those are really boring. And if I were the other person, I would delete it. I wouldn't want to, like, people work with people they like, and they're going to want to work with you. So they're going to want to hear a text from you. Okay. And Cassandra, last question here. She said, when is the series starting? It starts February 26th. And I would love to get to coach with all of you guys. Thank you so much for your time today. I have another webinar I have to catch on right now. So you guys are awesome. Mwah. Thank you for your time, and I hope I get to connect with you soon. If you're at Family Reunion, come find me. I post it on my Facebook page all the places I'm going to be, all the panels I'm going to be on. I'd love to hang out with you guys. Take care.